What's up, everybody? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have yet another album review for you, and one that I guess, like, low-key we were anticipating because both of us have, like, kind of the same connection with this band, even though I've kept up with them a little bit more. We are going over the latest offering from Mors Principium Est, Darkness Invisible. This also comes out on the 26th of September on Perception Records. Actually, it just says Perception. Just Perception, no records, no music. So
that's our perception of what it is.
Yeah, and that's probably your perception too, because that's what you'll see. Anyway, this band formed in 1999 in Finland. This is their 9th album overall. I got into this band with Liberation equals Termination. I heard the song Sinner's Defeat on a, God, I think it was a Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles sampler. I was like, fuck, this is awesome. And it hit like right at the time that I was like absolutely bonkers for Melodeath, except this band was like much different, like just in terms of like how fast and how intense they played. It's like, dude, this like kind of just beats the pants off of fucking In Flames and shit. Like this is just intense.
So yeah, I got into these guys at roughly the same time with either The Unborn or Liberation equals Termination. I think the first one I heard was Liberation equals Termination. But I got into these guys because oddly enough, the girl I was dating during the time period when I got into these guys was a huge Melodeath fan, was into, Bodum and In Flames and Kalma and stuff like that. And I, at that point in my musical journey, wasn't really there yet, but I was big into metalcore. So, like, I remember going on a hunt for bands that I could listen to and further kind of relate to her and her musical journey. And I found Mors Principium Est, and I just remember, like, how fast it was and how techy it was and how, like, tight it was. And I thought, man, this really kicks ass. Now, I will fully admit that after those two albums in which I got into this band, I kind of fell out, mostly because there was a 4 or 5 year gap in between Liberation equals Termination and the next release. I mean, that wasn't like they did some weird EP or something, but I remember not liking it as much, so I kind of fell out of these guys for a while. But I was super stoked to get into this record because I went back and jammed Liberation equals Termination the other day, and I was like, fuck yeah, man, I can't wait.
And I've covered some of the other albums and collection updates. And, I mean, baseline, I mean, not much has really changed with these guys. They still deliver, like, that just fierce, aggressive, fast-paced style of Melodeath that's notably a little bit more technical, kind of gothic-tinged. And they're still doing it exceedingly well in here.
If you listen to them in the beginning, right off the rip, you could tell that they were extremely talented musicians, and they are still extremely talented musicians. Like, there's no lie there. Like, this is up there with some of the fastest and techiest, like, most well-put-together song creation. Comes in with a creepy atmosphere and some, like, creepy, like, spoken word.
Demonic chatter.
Yeah, it kind of sets up the pace for the album anyway, which is a good thing. And then kicks off with a big dark melody and blasty and fast and techy, and like we're off to the races. It's intense, and these guys just know how to do that so well.
It's intense, but it's, again, melodic as hell. Like, you get these big gothic symphony swells and occasionally, like, ghostly female operatic vocals. But the riffs are always melodically tinged. Almost, like, always. Like, there's definitely some spots here where they get a little bit more heavy, a little bit more dark. But it's how they play them. It's just rapid fire, lots of quick harmonies, amazing lead work, and almost everything in here is just very blast beat driven. Like, this is a fast-paced album for the most part. They do break it up with some like groovier songs, but what this band is known for is going like a million miles an hour and playing something that sounds like it could be like, the score to like the Lord of the Rings movies, but, on guitars.
It's like Dragon Force, but not wanky.
It's like Dragon Force, except I enjoy it. I don't want to turn it off.
Right, exactly.
But there are some points in here where it got, like, a lot heavier than I was expecting. Their frontman drops his vocals down a little bit more in certain parts. Some in the Dark and All Life is Evil are brooding, darker, but in a different way. Something in the Dark is one of the most intense songs on the entire album.
Yeah.
It's riff a minute, quick, sharp changes, blast beats, and a lot of tonal changes, too. Like, you get, bright, shimmering, epic melodies, but again, like, dark, more like kind of ghoulish vocals. And then it'll take a hard shift to, like, way more, like, deep, sinister, chugging riffs and deep death metal vocals.
Yeah.
The bridge on this song is absolutely nuts. some of the craziest drum work I think I've heard on this album.
Yep. And the fact that really the back half of that song is just, it's flat out death metal. And it's mean and evil sounding. I like that both of the tracks, Summoning the Dark and All Life is Evil, are aptly named for what they are. Because Summoning the Dark surely 100% summons that nasty death metal evil darkness. And All Life is Evil sounds legit evil. And like, I was kind of hoping that when I read the track names. I was like, I hope that they do justice to these song titles, and they did it really well. Some of the most intense thrash riffing too, I think, is also in Summoning the Dark. Dude, that bridge that's something else.
All Life is Evil, though, like, different kind of darkness, though. It's slower, it's more brooding. It's played off pretty well by an Aria of the Damned, which is a transitional track that features haunting female vocals. It sounds like a choir of depressed ghosts and, like swirling pianos and such. It's appropriately gothic, and it sets up that song pretty well. But once it gets into it, like, you get these big, punishing, chuggy riffs. It's slower. It's kind of built along, like, more breakdown grooves. And you get this good give and take between these, like, sullen but very tuneful, clean vocals from the female vocalist and just these deep, ugly roars. Like, honestly, this is, like, the kind of song that I feel Cradle of Filth either tries to pull off or has pulled off before, but for me didn't pull it off because Daddy Filth was there to ruin the music. All 4 feet of him and his fucking goblin vocals and baby shrieks, I just can't fucking take it. But it has that sort of vibe, like the gothic, like, darkness, and it's heavy and just brooding as hell. Monuments is kind of the same vibe, though I would definitely say leaning a little bit further into, like, the melodic aspects.
100%.
Like, they want the big epic hooks. It sounds triumphant and dark, like, I don't know, a king returning victoriously into his hall, hoisting the head of his enemy. I don't know how that king celebrates. Maybe he'd leave it at the door. Maybe he'd throw it in the trash.
Right, it's slower and it's darker, but it's not, like, evil, slower and darker. That's what I like about Monuments. And then there's the straight fuck you track, Beyond the Horizon. That song is intense, machine gun riffing, heavy syncopated start-stop moments. Like, that song's out to get you, for sure. Like, that song takes you, grabs you by the neck, smacks you around a little bit, and then sets you back down. That's what Beyond the Horizon is.
And it's not just with, like, riff work. It's also the lead work on here. The lead work on here is beautiful. Like, a lot of comparisons you can make to, like, Children of Bodom. There's a lot of that Alexi sort of, like, flash to these leads, but I feel like they're a little bit more restrained and really more, like, along the lines of, like, I don't know, say, like, something more, like, neoclassical. I love the phrasing on them. They're shreddy, they're intense, and there's not a single moment on here where a lead pops up that it feels too overdone, too bloated, too wanky. No,
if anything, the leads are perfection. I've never had a problem with leads on a Mors Principium record, and I don't now. Like, they're all really good. I went to write down leads and eventually just wrote down all the leads because they all kick ass.
Pretty much this was exactly what I was expecting from this band. Even if I hadn't kept up with, like, their most recent stuff, this is the sound that I associate with this band. I can't imagine they would actually change it because I feel like they have kind of their own specific take on Melodeath. As far as any negatives on here, I mean, all right, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, transitional tracks. I do think these are actually pretty good. They, definitely stay in the themes of the album. Like, it has, like, a gothic sort of vibe, but I do feel like they hang out a little bit too long. Like, both are over, I think, 2 minutes. Tenebrae Letebra, or Letebra? Letebra. Maybe not. I don't know. And an Aria of the Damned. It's a lot of setup. Granted, they're great at, like, kind of, like, setting the atmosphere, but they do hang out a little bit too long. And while I liked Monuments, there were points on there where I felt like it kind of dragged. There was a lot of repeating of certain parts. I think the bridge kind of got drawn out a bit too much, too.
I don't mind the transitional tracks. I don't really like that there's 2 of them, but at the same time, they each, both in their kind of unique way, set up the songs that follow them. They're also relatively entertaining. I'll say it's not like a bunch of, like, synth or wankery or crap like that. Like, they're musical. The Area of the Damned is particularly kind of haunting, which I thought was cool. The Rivers of Avernus, while it's very Melodeath and harkens back to a lot of, like, 2000s metalcore. Like, I heard Killswitch all day going on here. Out of all the songs on the record, I personally thought that song was the most, like, subdued in this case. as to what they were doing. There weren't a whole lot of things that made that song overly monumental or even memorable, in my opinion, but that for me was about the only real gripe I had.
I mean, I like the bridge in it, and it's got some really, really cool choir effects.
And a tuneful lead.
I mean, every song had a tuneful lead. Riff-wise, I mean, yeah, like, as soon as it came on, like, oh, dude, that sounds like something that Unearth or Killswitch Engage would play.
Yep.
And, you know, you get the Children of Bodom kind of, like, synths in there, too. Yeah, no, I can see what you're saying, but, I mean, like, this is one of those things where, like, this style is so closely linked with metalcore.
Right.
You know, I got into this band in 2005 when I was fucking really metalcore, too. I wanted to hear those same kinds of riffs, but... You know, for me, it's at least in the way these guys play those, you know, flat-out Melodeath riffs, there is something different to them. Like, I would say the way these guys play the faster, more aggressive parts, it's almost percussive. Like, it sounds like they are just beating the shit out of their guitars and just, like, there's smoke fucking pouring off of them. But I wouldn't say, like, anything on here was, like, overtly bad. Like, there really wasn't, like, a drop in quality. There were just songs I was, you know, not into as much. Like, for me personally... I prefer when this band is going like Mach 10.
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah.
When this band plays fast, I love how aggressive they are. Mm-hmm. They're super tuneful. Mm-hmm. They're really techy at points, too. Like, okay, there's some clever riff changes. That is the shit I love. Like, you know, Summoning the Dark is pretty much like top tier Mors Principium Est for me. Like, that's exactly what I want out of this band. But I liked everything else on here, and I think this is yet another solid album from these guys. Also, the production here is absolutely amazing. This was mixed by Jens Bogren and mastered by Tony Lindgren. Yeah, I think someone spent some quality time at Fascination Street Studios. That's my guess. But yeah, everything sounds killer. The guitars have a great punch. Everything has its own space to operate in. Drums sound fantastic. Yeah, this is a flat-out killer album, and overall, I'm going to give this 4 stars. This pretty much hits just about everything I want from this band. Mm-hmm. It's faster than hell. It's got the clever riff changes. The vocals stay aggressive. They don't get too much into, like, anything sing-songy. There are points where, like, the harsh vocals will carry a bit more of a tune, but it still sounds gruff. It still sounds aggressive. The songwriting and all the, like, technical lead play and riff play in here, yeah, once again, these guys are just impressive as hell. And at no point does it really kind of, like, devolve into, like, just, like, standard tech death or anything like that.
No.
This is still 100%, you know, Mors Principium Est. Yeah, there are some, like, transitional tracks that I didn't care for. I mean, that's kind of a thing on, like, all their albums. Like, there's always tracks that I leave off. But still, I think everything on here was really well executed. And if you're a big fan of... I mean, I would say, like, you know, like early In Flames, At the Gates, stuff like that. You know, maybe Children of Bodom too. This band has like a very specific kind of style of Melodeath. It's almost like Obscura meets At the Gates.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, take that and kind of roll with it and check this out.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. This is a good solid 4. To be honest with you, it sounds like these guys haven't skipped a beat since I got into them. And even though I fell out of this band for a while, like, I remember seeing this on the docket for reviews, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, Mors Principium Est. I love this band. There was a time in life where I was legit the only person I knew that knew who Mors Principium was, and then I went to go hang out with some people one night and met my buddy Hans, who was wearing a Mors Principium shirt the night I met him, and I was like, dude, fuck yeah. These guys sound like they haven't skipped a beat since back then. It's speedy, it's intense, the riff work is insane. Dude, the harmonies are insane. I agree that when these guys are moving really fast, to me it's like pinpoint precision of musical mastery. Like, these guys are so fucking good with melodies, and the harmonies are killer. I like where the atmosphere sits in this record. Like, it's not overpowering by any means. Like, I didn't feel like I lost a riff, or I lost a beat or a groove or something. Like, it sits kind of back in the mix and just adds, again, to atmosphere, not as an added, like, showboating thing. If you've liked this band for leads in the past, you're still gonna like them for leads. They all fucking rule. The keys on here aren't intrusive. The heavier moments until you get down to, you know, absolute bangers like Summoning the Dark or All Life is Evil, like the heavier moments, I like that they introduce them by just simply making the tone darker. Like, it doesn't lose the momentum of the song in any way when they go heavier. Like, it sticks with it, and that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could complain about the transitional tracks, but like I said before, they're still entertaining in their own right. Like, I wasn't bored by them, so I just didn't like that there were two of them. But yeah, overall, if you've been a longtime fan of this band, you're still going to be a longtime fan of this band. If you're also into things like Coma, Dark Tranquility, stuff like that, you're probably also really going to dig this. But I would recommend checking this out. Go back to their early days, too. Check that crap out. I've got some other stuff to check out. I've missed this band. I enjoyed this record, so yeah, give it a spin.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you were new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They were only 99 cents, and our lone perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we will likely do sometime in October. We'll definitely let you know. Either way, membership's the main way to support the channel, and there's a join button down there that is not shrouded in darkness, nor is it invisible. It's right there, and you can hit it, and you can join. And that would be really cool.
Even if you don't join, it's also swell because we do tons of other stuff that is not member related. Non-members only live streams, which are just as dumb as the members only live streams. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. We have discography rankings, album reviews, multiple discussion segments, Nick's never-ending collection updates. We do all metal all the time. We do that for you guys because, goddammit, you guys are pretty awesome. We are thankful that you guys stick around and are still a part of this channel. The channel continues to grow. It baffles me that we're at 22,000 subs, but I will fucking take it. Once again, it's because of you guys, so thank you.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely awesome. Tons of content coming your way. So one more big thank you, because you are, in fact, awesome. I looked it up on the internet, and we will catch you later.